Hello, I decided to do another video for borderline personality disorder. If you're looking for more material, I'm still trying to build up on it. My goal is to kind of create my own channel so that anybody that struggles with borderline personality disorder can get information on possible coping tips or just information in general. It's a heavily stigmatized disorder, and I want to be a participant on trying to break that stigma. So make sure my nose ring isn't there. So the video I wanted to make today is about borderline personality disorder and PMS. Now, a lot of people believe that if you already have borderline personality disorder, that you're not going to have any issues with PMS because you already have experience. What happens with PMS and borderline personality disorder, at least for me, is it takes my symptoms and escalates them by tenfold. So I'll just go over like the common symptoms for borderline. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Okay, so the symptoms of borderline personality disorder, and I'm just going to put it in layman terms. I'm not going to put it in, DSM-5 terms, although it might come off as that way mid-sentence, but whatever. So basically we deal with intense mood swings. They can come out of nowhere. In one of my videos, I described it as kind of like being a reaction to triggers. It could be sensory, it could be visual, it could be auditory, via the five senses, That's usually where our mood swings come from. And our mood swings can also come from splitting. And splitting basically is where you either see everything or everyone as good or bad. And it doesn't have to be everything or everyone all at the same time. It could just be one particular person. Or it could be like this one TV show that you watched last night that you could have swore you really liked and all of a sudden you hate. It could be a music album that, you heard recently. Or it can even be your pet. Like, as adorable as they are, it could be your pet. Like, it seems like it comes out of nowhere, but it is actually usually triggered by something. But it's hard to figure out what that something is, because in the moment of splitting, there's a good chance that you're also dissociating, which is the next symptom I'm going to go over. Basically, we're not 100% with it. Like, we're not all out, but we're not all in. So in one of my videos, I described it as only 30% of us being aware of what's going on. Well, that's dissociating. The other percentage is like, yeet, see you later. So, for me, what dissociating feels like is I kind of feel like I know, and this has happened sometimes while I'm locking up the school campus, and I really touch and feel the school lock so that I know that it's locked. Occasionally I'll just be walking through a dark field to go check a gate that's on the other side of the school, and all of a sudden I just feel like at ace, but like it's not the oh thank God I passed the test kind of at ace. It's a oh all of a sudden nothing matters. Like, it kind of feels like your brain emotionally just kind of shuts off. It's kind of like when someone's put under anesthesia. Instead of it being of a physical nature to where you just pass the fuck out and go to sleep. For me, with dissociation, it feels like emotional anesthesia. Like whatever was making me emotionally vulnerable, it just isn't making me vulnerable anymore. And that's why dissociation is often tied to trauma, because, I can say for myself, in my past life, I have experienced a shit ton of trauma. Like, I don't even know how I'm still alive. But anyway, like, what happens with the trauma is you can't handle the pain, and then you're just kind of, your brain just kind of exits the realm, so to speak. Like your brain is just like, you know what, I can't take this pain. I'm going to temporarily turn off my emotions so that I don't feel anything. And, well, I mean, in some instances, it can be a healthy thing for your mind to do. It's preventing you from going into shock, or, well, emotional shock, from what I can tell. But unfortunately, for some of us, our brain has gone through so much trauma that it's had to do it again and again and again and again. And then before you know it, you grow up and you become someone like me, who has borderline personality disorder and never stops dissociating. I'm not gonna lie though, sometimes it does do me a favor. Like, I'll occasionally have a panic attack and then all of a sudden I'll dissociate and then the pain's gone. Somehow it works itself out every once in a while, but oh, is it rare? So that's one of the symptoms. Another symptom is like physical sensations, sensory overload. A lot of people don't realize this, but people that struggle with borderline personality disorder can go through sensory overload. And for the longest time, I've been speculating on whether I had Asperger's, or I guess I don't want to say high functioning, because people with Asperger's, they struggle a lot. I'll just say Asperger's. I couldn't tell if I had Asperger's or if I had borderline personality disorder. Like, before I got my official BPD diagnosis, I said to my psychiatrist, hey, it could be A or it could be B. It could be both. I don't know. Help me out. And she tested me specifically for borderline, and I said to her, well, the only issue I have with that, and I said, now don't get me wrong, all of the pointers are really fitting into place, like the perfect puzzle piece, but like, I still get this kind of like sensory overload. And she says, yeah, borderlines can get that. It's like, oh, wow, would have never guessed. So we can get overloaded with the senses by being in crowds. Essentially what happens is, like I said, via five senses, we come across something that makes us nervous, and then before you know it, everything in that environment is making us nervous, and then before you know it, we're going into sensory overload. It's very uncomfortable. With my experience, it makes lights much brighter than what they really are. It makes sounds significantly louder than what they really are. Oh my god, when I would have to see fireworks as a child, fucking nightmare. My mother, she always had to make sure she had earplugs because I couldn't handle it. I would always run out of the crowd and look for a place to hide whenever there was fireworks. It was a nightmare. But thankfully, she was kind of invested in the medical field herself, and she was just like, earplugs, and those did me a big favor. But anyway, yeah, it makes sounds much louder than what they really are. It makes colors a lot brighter than what they are. Microfiber just all of a sudden becomes excessively annoying. Anything with a very, very soft or very, very scratchy feel just all of a sudden becomes like fucking sandpaper. Just all of your senses are just overloaded. And I get this way sometimes when I go to Walmart. I shop at Walmart because it's cheaper. If I really had it my way, I go to Publix, but I'm not rich. So I go to Walmart, and for some reason, we decide to go shopping at Walmart on a Sunday, which is the worst thing you can do if you struggle with sensory overload. So every Sunday, I'm holding on to the back of my husband's shirt very tightly and trying not to freak the fuck out. Because over here's a person, over there's a person, over there's a person, there's a giant ass family over there, there's a giant ass family over here, there's a giant ass family behind me, and there's a lady in a little motorized cart trying to get by me. And it's like, I don't know where to go. Or it's a, everybody get the fuck out of the way. I can't handle grocery stores when they're packed. I just can't. There's people everywhere, and it makes my head want to explode, you know. So it's difficult. Now, those are the symptoms that I have with borderline. Anybody that struggles with borderline personality disorder or knows someone that struggles with borderline personality disorder, if you have any more symptoms that you experience, please feel free to share in the comments section. I'm interested in the BPD community and to see what they have to say, you know. And plus we can teach others. You know, there might be other symptoms that other people are not aware of that have BPD. And if you tell, you know, symptoms of other people or yourself in the comments, people might discover, oh wait, I didn't realize I was related to BPD. Who'da thunk? So it doesn't help to share information. Now, PMS. I can feel all the ladies watching this video cringing as we speak. I don't blame you. So PMS. What PMS does to the neurotypical woman without borderline, okay,